Good evening and welcome to Ninon Speaks Media Image. My name is AJ Dean. I am your co-host, and it's my great honor to introduce the wonderful, award-winning Ninon DeVere DeRosa, the best boss in the world. Hello, Ninon.
I love it. Hey, how are you?
I am great. And
Well, we have a great show coming up, and it's all to do with burlesque. Burlesque is coming back. If nobody else's screen is certainly coming back on our screen. We're learning. I have another show, Vegas Live with Ninon, and I just had Georgette Dante on there, and she was amazing. And funny story, she brings these two little glasses on and a bottle of tequila. So we both take a swig and then we start the show. So you've got to go to Vegas Live with Ninon and find out what happened. I don't even know what happened, but I understand we've got two great guests on. We have two burlesque young ladies on. One is from the older tradition, and one is from the new tradition, where where she's teaching other young ladies becoming burlesque. Who are our guests today, AJ?
Yes, both of our guests are amazing. I'm going to admit them now. Dusty Summers. Dusty Summers, known as Las Vegas's only nude magician, and the amazing Buttercup. Hello.
Oh my goodness gracious me, you look amazing. I feel like I should take some clothes off a little bit and show some skin. I feel like I'm
You see it better now. I noticed in the screen you really can't see it well.
You look lovely. You look absolute. Both of you look beautiful. So we've got here, this is really amazing to our audience. We've got two young ladies here. One is from the older tradition of Dusty Summers, and the other one is Buttercup. Buttercup is in Vegas. Dusty, where are you? Are you in Vegas?
Yes.
So you're both in Vegas and you don't both know each other, correct?
We both know each other quite well.
Yes. Now, Buttercup, you are learning from a legendary young lady that knows this inside out. How has she been as a teacher for you, Buttercup? What, Buttercup? You look gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It took lots of tears to remember how to do this.
Yes.
A couple of months. It's been a couple of months. No, Dusty's amazing. She has always given me great advice. I remember years ago, we used to do these peer reviews where we would perform our act and ask for feedback. And Dusty was great. She would always come. And I remember she told me, you need to do something dirty. And I was like,
me?
Never. I would never, and she was like, just lick your lips a little, and she was showing me how to do it. And I walked away thinking, I can't do that. That's just not me. And then I did it. And it's me.
Well, isn't that not part of the burlesque? Is part of that sort of little risque, going a little further than most people dare to go. I mean, I don't even know if any married women do anything like that. And yet that's what women kind of, do, isn't it? It's what we do naturally.
It's flirting in high gear.
Flirting in high gear. I think I'm in low gear at the moment.
No, you're dressed high gear.
Am I dressed high? I had this turtleneck on. And I thought, I can't just be in black and have this thing on. I gotta go. So I go to my closet and I see and I eye this jacket of mine, and I thought, perfect. I'm now in the burlesque arena.
Yes.
That's not your typical Smith's grocery store outfit. Although I have gone to Smith's dressed just like I am, and it's amazing. Women will come up and say, "Oh, that's so pretty," and I'm wondering, do you know where I'm going?
I love it. But it's funny, in Vegas, you can actually be dressed any way you want, and they really don't take any notice.
Well, it's a 24-hour town, and there's such a variety of jobs here that require unusual looks, perhaps.
Yeah, which it could be any time during the day.
Yes.
Because
I love when I walk into the grocery store and the person who's checking me out has full lashes on. I love that. Like, there is nothing that warms my heart better than just seeing every normal day person trying to be glamorous and trying to feel their own beauty.
I think it's beautiful. I call them sweepers. My lashes are sweep. I call them my sweepers. Have you ever? Oh, this is funny. Have you ever like lost an eyelash? And then all of a sudden you walk around, you see this thing on the floor, and you think it's some kind of bug.
You think it's a spider.
Is that
I
at
have
home?
done that. I have scared
home.
myself.
I've done that, and I thought, oh, and then all of a sudden, Ninon, that's your eyelash that you lost.
That's happened to everybody. Everybody who's ever worn lashes, or it'll wind up down here or somewhere. You don't know. It's worse if you don't know.
Yeah, if you go to bed at night, they seem to end up with wings. They sort of go up here somewhere. And you look at yourself in the mirror and think, is this it?
No, I know people who wear contact lenses who actually do go to bed with them at night, but it wouldn't work for me. I move around too much.
Yeah, I think I am too. Okay, now let's get to you, Dusty. Dusty, how did you start the business? How did you get into being a burlesque dancer? And do you sing as well?
Not very well.
You sing in the shower. Okay, I do.
I will save you from that. I started like a lot of people my age, perhaps, go-go dancing on television for various shows. They would show a little round podium maybe, and they'd have a dancer on each one.
Yeah.
More or less, they couldn't really dance. They were standing in one place. But my actual first job was as a fully clothed go-go dancer at a men's after-work bar in Phoenix, Arizona.
Men's lounge, as they call them, I think.
Call them what?
And how did you get involved in that? How old were you when you did that?
18.
18. Weren't you a little scared? You're going to this place where it's all men and you've got to start dancing, even though you had clothes on.
I was scared because I didn't know what you were supposed to wear or anything. I had a dressy outfit on and I thought that was it. And then the owner pulled out a Fredericks of Hollywood magazine and showed me this 2-piece bikini. And he said, don't worry, I furnish them and this is what you're going to look like. And I took one look at that picture and I said, oh, no way.
That's not going to be me.
But I went back in the dressing room was the kitchen, which is nothing unusual about that. And I put this white fringe Hollywood of Fredericks bikini on. And I was shocked that it looked good. I didn't expect that because I didn't think of myself in those terms. Or like Buttercup just said, this is not me. Yes,
but then suddenly you realize, hang on a second, this is me, and I really like it.
Yes.
And you
I like the attention, and I don't think any woman doesn't like to feel sexy. I don't think any man doesn't like to feel sexy, at least at some point in your life. Kind of nice to feel sexy at this point in my life,
Well, I'm older, and I might not be older than you or wherever I am. I'm older, and I really, truly love to dress up and go out and look good. And I put lashes on, and I do the makeup, and I do everything. And I don't know, it just makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yes, it makes you feel, even if you don't feel real good, I'm talking about health-wise, it will perk you up.
Absolutely. What do you think about this, Buttercup? You're quite young, actually. I don't know how old you are, but you look like you're probably 28, 30.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm actually, I think I'm older than some people think I am. I am 39 years old.
Really? Well, that's very, very young compared to the two of us over here. Over here on the right, and the left is the young side, and the right is the older side. I
really, what Dusty said really resonates with me too. I find, when I first started, I think I was grappling with, feeling like, well, is this exploitation? Is this just for the male gaze? And then once I started doing it, I realized that was not what it was at all. That was not why I first started doing it. There's an empowerment that comes with being able to get on stage and do what you want to do, dress how you want to dress. You know, burlesque performers are not chorus girls. We are not actors.
No, not at all.
We are stars.
You're individuals. You're individual stars.
Yes, we're featured entertainers. Everything you see that we do are things that we have constructed. So we put together our whole act. Usually, in most cases, burlesque performers don't have a choreographer. They may have someone who helps them with their costumes, but largely it's all their ideas that they are presenting on stage. So everything I do on stage is because I want
it's your creation. So how good do you feel when you sort of you dress yourself up and you, I was going to say, you put on all these clothes, but you probably don't put on all these clothes. But you,
yeah, you
do. You do. But you put on quite a lot because you take them off, don't you?
Yes.
We do take them off. In no uncertain terms, we strip off our clothing.
I love it. I love it.
Or peel it off. There's a whole lot of words you can use for take it off, take it all off.
Now, do you say some of these words when you're taking it off? Do you kind of sort of say things, or the expression on your face is kind of, it's coming off?
It's the expression on your face and your gestures.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I figure, because it's not really taking.
And that's more to encourage them to react. Whatever you're doing, you're getting a reaction from your audience.
And that's what you're thriving for. Yeah. And how do you gear up your audience? Because are your audience mostly men, or is it mixed? Because I understand it's mixed.
Nowadays, it's very mixed. And actually in the neo-burlesque movement, we call the neo-burlesque movement anything after the 90s. Most of this audience is made up of women.
Really?
Like I said, it's quite an empowering thing for the person who's doing it, but it's empowering for everyone involved. It is absolutely empowering to watch other women exercise their bodily autonomy.
Well, maybe they're trying to get some ideas and take them home and sort of, get, get them.
I find that that's a very small percentage of people, especially like my students. I teach burlesque. I find that the people who come because they think, oh, I'm going to go show my husband or my boyfriend something fun. That's not what the modern scene is about. It really is about empowerment. I'm sure there's some people who do enjoy that aspect. They want to bring this home to their loved ones. But for a lot of people, they do burlesque for themselves.
I understand what you're saying, because and also Dusty will obviously understand this, is because you're kind of, when you do this, you're relieving yourself of not being inhibited as of a woman, because we always thought that if we do this or we do that, people are going to think less of us, or they're going to think more of us, or why is that? But I think it's something that releases a woman, because a woman is a very feminine person, obviously. I mean, there's a lot of women that, but everyday women. But I think it gives them that empowerment. AJ, how do you feel about that? Because you're kind of in the middle here.
I love it. I think this is brilliant because, you mentioned about age, and really burlesque is timeless. So there's really no age. I look at you, Dusty, Ninon, Buttercup, as all the same. It's the same empowerment, the same strength, the same wonderful energy that we all have. And that's what we are here for, to connect, support each other. And I see that in the burlesque world. In fact, in Dusty's book, The Magical World of Burlesque, and if you have a copy there, I'd love for you to show that, Dusty. She has amazing stories of how, yes, and please, yes, please. And please tell us a little bit about that.
Tell us about your book. Oh, by the way, first, let me thank Dusty. Thank you for the book. I have the book right here, and I find it fascinating reading all the different stories. I have the black cover. I have The Magic Woman of Burlesque. Yes, that's the one I have. Yes.
Burlesque has a couple of hundred pictures, including, as you know, Georgette Dante. These are all people that I wrote about over the years, and I decided one day to condense the stories down and make it into a book. Most of them were previous columns from Vegas World, Vegas Visitor. Yeah, and I wrote The Magical World of Burlesque. So this is probably a slimmed down version of those stories. I took out whatever was not appropriate for now. And
Well, I
this
thought that
one
was amazing.
is a autobiography.
Oh.
And both of them are available on Amazon. If anybody wants to order them, I advise Amazon. This is The Lady the Stripper.
This is The Lady the
Vegas
Stripper.
Only Nude Magician.
Okay.
And, Georgette has been a friend of mine for many years.
I interviewed her yesterday. She was on my other show yesterday.
She promotes me. I try to promote her. If I had the energy that woman has, I would set the world on fire.
Have you ever seen her van?
Yes.
She's got this.
Yes.
Well, I saw it yesterday.
Creative.
I saw it yesterday for the first time. I had all this stuff I was carrying, and then she said, "Ninon, you've got to see my van." And I said, "Okay." And she opens the back door, the side door first, and it's like, oh. And then she opens the back door, and it's amazing. It's like it's incredible. It's got photographs and clothes and beautiful. But you look at this woman, and she just continues doing what she loves, and she has never given up. And I love that. And of course, she wants to make a movie of the burlesque, and which we're going to see.
Anyone can make it happen. It's Georgette Dante. She will make it happen.
I think you're absolutely right. She's a go-getter. She brought she got this tequila yesterday on the show.
I do want to thank Georgette for connecting us with. She's our director of entertainment, Georgette Dante, here at Ninon Speaks Media Image Show, and we want to thank her and send a warm hello out to her. I know she's going to watch this, so thank you, Ninon, for all that you do. And I do want to say both of you ladies are absolutely beautiful. You're a wonderful representation of the beautiful world of burlesque. So thank you so much for what you're sharing today.
I agree with that, because you've got the older and the younger of what burlesque still is. And Buttercup, you're the one that's teaching younger ones of giving them the new version of how it is. Now, how much has it changed from what it used to be than what it is now? Because I think it's less clothes now, isn't it, than what it was before, or is it the same?
It runs the gamut. Anyone, each individual performer decides what their act will be. I've seen burlesque acts where someone doesn't take any clothing off, but there's still a reveal. Burlesque is about the reveals. So maybe their act is about revealing something else. Maybe it's not about revealing their skin. It might be about revealing another part of themselves or another character. Maybe there's a story. So I wouldn't say it's, one size fits all.
Okay, because we're not all the same anyway. We're all very different, and we all
used to have a lot more rules in the old days than it does now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They had all these rules.
We had to do 4, 5, or 6 20-minute shows a day, and they each had to be different costumes, different music. Everything had to be different, and there was more. And you did have to take stuff off. You couldn't do a burlesque show without that. And that, how much you took off. I know we're only talking about the difference between whether you wore pasties or didn't, whether you wore a G-string or didn't. The dress and the bra and all that stuff still the same. Yes. But it kind of depended on what the laws were in each city, each county. It can be different across the street, even in Las Vegas. Some parts of the strip, they have to wear pasties, and some parts they don't. And we don't know where these laws came from, but I'm quite sure it's hard to say this, but men are the ones that usually dream up these laws, not us women.
No, you're right, actually. I wonder how they dreamed that up. Some didn't like the pasties and some did. I mean, that's the name of the game, isn't it?
Well, you know what it is? It's something that can be capitalized on. all of the laws that govern what we are showing in Las Vegas are tied to a license, a liquor license, a gaming license.
Yes.
So this is going to dictate what you're allowed to show.
Oh, I see that. I didn't realize that came into those liquor licenses, but I guess it does.
I had a Texas liquor license, and they do require, amongst the other things that you're writing down when you put the name of your club, is whether or not it's sexually oriented, which of course burlesque is,
Yes.
as opposed to country western music, which there's a whole lot more sex going on there than there ever is in a burlesque club.
I probably would agree with you, but I really don't.
I mean,
Yes.
it used to be almost all male audience, and they probably and often were desirous of whatever they saw on stage, but they also knew this was an atmosphere they could freely flirt, and they didn't have to worry that you might take them up on it. So they could flirt with you, and then they could go back home, and they didn't cheat on their wife. They just winked at a girl on the stage, and if they got really, really lucky, she might have winked back. But that is generally as far as that would go.
AJ, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much. I am admiring the wonderful pasties and the beautiful feathers at Buttercup's background. I wondered if she could talk a little bit about that.
I got some pasties here somewhere.
You know,
Yeah,
as you can imagine, these costume pieces are very unique. They have to fit individual body types. So a lot of them are custom made. You're not going to easily find many pasty shops online that are, just pumping out a lot of these things. They're custom made pieces. So I, like many burlesque performers, we make our pasties.
Oh, wow. Look at these. You've got diamonds.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
tassels.
I do crystals. I've got sequins.
And now, when
of
these
course,
people
we're
buy
in a
these,
pandemic right now.
oh, look at this. That's
I am
beautiful.
ready with a very sparkly mask.
Now, do you make all these yourself, Buttercup?
I do. The pasties I make. I also make pasties for other burlesque performers, and I've made feather fans for performers as well as productions on the Las Vegas Strip.
Wow. Where is your store?
You're looking at it. It's in my home. I make everything out of my home. I don't have a storefront.
Everything.
Like I said, these are custom.
So you
pieces.
sell everything online, right?
I do have a website. So at Buttercup Burlesque, you can find links for my pasties and my tassel earrings, because sometimes we can't
Can you make those
tassels off our boobies, but we can still wear our tassels every day too.
Can you make your tassels, Buttercup? Can you make your tassels on your ears swirl? Can they?
No,
I think you went too far.
Not without a warm up.
I hope I'm wrong, but I think that some of it, some of the audio got a little bit delayed. Is there any possibility, Buttercup, that you could repeat what you said one more time about the beautiful blue feathers and the pasties that you sell and create?
Absolutely. So I do create my own feather fans. I've got some pretty blue ones here that match this costume. I've got a big pair of white feather fans here, and I've made feather fans for Las Vegas productions. X Burlesque has a pair of my fans. Melody Sweets Presents, which has been at the Smith Center. She's used my feather fans, and I create custom pasties, all different sizes.
Now,
because everyone is very.
So you'd have to have different sizes for different boobs.
Yes, that's the
Not
first
different
question
boobs,
I
different
ask someone
nipples.
usually.
Excuse me, nipples.
Yes, you need to speak medically correct. Different nipples.
Correct, nipples. So you've got to cover the nipples.
Yes.
Yep, the nipple and areola, very important, because depending on the jurisdiction you're in, they do actually write that language in there.
Oh,
So
they
yes,
do.
Everyone has different
Yes.
sized nipples, so I do have to accommodate for what they need.
Accommodating the nipples of Vegas, of the world, actually, because now, do you get a lot of customers obviously outside of Vegas? You get customers from probably all over the world.
I get a lot of burlesque performers who are purchasing these, and then sometimes I'll get orders from women who maybe just want to spice up things in the bedroom.
I come now. Back to you, Dusty. Do you have anything you make or anything you do that you sell apart from your writing the books?
I don't anymore, but I used to make my own pasties. I used to twirl the tassels. I made all of my costumes, and most of the stuff that I wear on stage still made. Behind me is some of the magic, just there for effect. This one, put a bird in there and twirl it around, and it becomes a dog or a duck or whatever I decide I want it to be. And then this is the trick on the back here.
Yeah.
You can see it. That is at least 50, probably 60 years old. A gift from Gary Darwin, who was the president of the Magic Club here for 50 something years. He loaned it to me. He said, you can keep it as long as you're using it, but when you're not using it anymore, then I'd like to have it back. Well, unfortunately, we lost Gary a couple of years ago, and I've continued to use it. This is one you put a balloon in there, poke the balloon in, it turns into a dove or two.
I've often wondered how they do those tricks, because these are birds. You've got to put them somewhere. They're not nothing. They're a piece of human.
There aren't many dove acts anymore, because since avian flu, 10 years or more ago, people now in a lot of places are afraid to have doves, and doves had nothing to do with the avian flu. Those are wild birds. Our doves, or my doves, are only with me. I've taken them to Canada. I've taken them everywhere, and there's no problem. But there are very few magicians doing doves, let alone, sometimes I just do magic. Sometimes I do burlesque and magic. Sometimes I just MC.
Yeah, when you do your magic,
yes.
What sort of, I guess each place you go to, you do a different show, but do you get any burlesque involved in the magic?
Yes. Everything has a flow and a reason. If I'm doing a magic trick, even if I'm taking off a piece of clothes, I may be doing a piece of magic that you're only expecting one thing, but you're going to get two, maybe three.
Wow. Do you do the same thing?
Unexpected.
Yeah, that is unexpected. Do you do the same thing, Buttercup?
I don't do magic, formal magic, as in Dusty's terms, but I like to think that I still give my audience a little magic. I like to incorporate classic burlesque moves into my acts, so I do the bump and grind, tassel twirling, fan dancing.
She does it very well, by the way.
Oh,
but you taught her.
Yes, she's. I coached her insofar as telling her, you can do it, you do it, you're doing it better. And she just, over the last several years, she just gotten better and better. If this were the good old days, she would be a burlesque star. It's just nowadays, most burlesque performers, not now Buttercup make a living at it, but most burlesque performers are performing maybe once a month, and in their spare time, they're interviewing people on Zoom. They're teaching first grade. They are sometimes doctors. They're everything you can think of. Burlesque doesn't pigeonhole you today. Even back then it didn't. You had to be a smart woman to be in burlesque, because you have to be able to travel, keep your bookings, keep your, the wardrobe, the shows, put music together, be on the technological edge of it, or know where to get what you need. And, music itself has changed. We started out using records or jukebox. Then it was reel to reel. Then it was cassette tapes. Then it was DVDs. Now it's MP3s and MP4s. And
whatever they are.
Yeah.
So you have actually given Buttercup, you've given her, and you've let her free from the beginning until now. You've let her free of herself, and she's now doing something that she really, really likes, right, Buttercup?
Oh, gosh. No, I love it. I've loved burlesque since the first show that I ever saw. As soon as I saw that show, I just it was life-changing. That show represented so many things to me. It was the first time I saw an older woman being celebrated for her beauty, for her natural beauty. And I had never been taught that. I had been taught that, we get old and our looks fade.
That's the end
and
of
we're
us.
not going to, we're not going to be loved anymore. And so seeing that was something that was really important. And also seeing the diversity, seeing the different body types that were on stage was something that was really important for me too. I've been fortunate in that I'm conventionally beautiful, I'm thin, I'm blonde, blue eyes, but there can be something very special about understanding that even if I don't look like this one day, I'm still going to be beautiful because I could see
because you've now built that
all of that diversity that was on stage.
Yeah. You've now built it inside of you. What's your youngest burlesque, the youngest person teaching?
Say that again?
What is the youngest person that you are teaching?
I would accept 18-year-olds, 18 and over.
Okay.
I don't believe I've taught an 18-year-old, but yeah, it would be 18 and over.
And what about men? What about men?
Men are absolutely allowed to take any of my classes, especially if they're interested in exploring a femme aesthetic. My classes are not exclusionary. Anyone can join, and I've got a couple that are available online right now. You can visit Burlesque Galaxy for a class that's pre-recorded, or you can take an in-person class virtually, but you would need to show up per se for the course.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry to interrupt. So sorry to interrupt. Please forgive me. I've learned a lot tonight. It's been a beautiful show. We've got about 5 minutes left. Just wanted to let everyone know.
Thank you,
Awesome.
AJ.
Thank
AJ
you.
keeps
So
me
yeah,
in
Vegas
line
Dance
here.
Hub is the other studio that I'm teaching with, and all of that's available on my website, buttercupburlesque.com.
Wonderful. And back over to you, Dusty. Dusty, when you started out and everything else, were there any men doing burlesque?
Yes. I actually used to work with a man. Sometimes we would do a kind of a dueling fire show. And I asked him one time, how come he took such chances? And he said, because I'm a man and they expect it of me. And there used to be a male burlesque star here in Las Vegas. He was called Patrick, the All-American male stripper. And he did every move every woman ever did. And it looked, he did them so well. And when they said sexy, they were talking about Patrick. So there's more men in burlesque now, but there have been men in burlesque since I can remember. Vic Carroll, who's one of our legends, he was in burlesque. So it isn't new. It's just now more.
Just more coming on. Dusty, how can anybody get in touch with you in case they would like some lessons or they would like to learn what you're doing and how you're doing it?
You can go to my Facebook page, which is Dusty Summers, and you can friend me, or you can just private message me. I don't pay a lot of attention to the friends thing unless I recognize your name, but that's probably the best way. I don't have a web page anymore because it made me want to pull what few hairs I have left out.
I love it. So both these women can be reached. I think, AJ, we've learned an awful lot about women.
And you can also reach either one of us through the Burlesque Hall of Fame.
Oh, great. Oh, okay.
Yes, I actually am very lucky.
Forget everything else.
Yeah, I'm a burlesque performer at night, but I actually work in a burlesque museum during the daytime. So yes, the Burlesque Hall of Fame, which is located downtown in the Emergency Arts District. We are closed now because of the pandemic, but we do have online educational videos. So go ahead and check burlesquehall.com to learn about burlesque history.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. They've both been amazing, haven't they, AJ? I think this is going to help our audience and to understand that, yes, we're going through this pandemic, but it doesn't mean to say that a lot of people are not doing anything. AJ and I are still doing our show. We found another way to do it by doing it on Zoom. And also we found another way of bringing our guests on Zoom. So that's why we have 2 guests every time we come on, and we give you the exposure, because a lot of people right now are doing Zoom because there isn't anything else. So
we appreciate the opportunity between you and AJ, and this is marvelous, and I hope that people are interested and tune in.
Yes.
Yeah, we're having quite a lot of response.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for sharing the arts right now. It is so important, especially right now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it, so we can get you out there. And, you know, we're all at home, I guess. I know I'm at home. Doesn't
Yes.
look like I'm at home, but I am.
Absolutely at home.
Absolutely.
Well, we can make our home anything we want to, just like sex, you know.
There you go.
Want it dirty, you want it clean, you want it decorated, you want it plain. We got it.
There you go. You can do anything you want. But it's like we're better off here in Vegas than they are in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is locked down. England, obviously, I'm from England.
Where are you televising from?
I'm televising from my home.
Oh, what city?
Oh, I'm in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Well, then we all are.
So
We're
all,
neighbors.
yes, we still have weekends. A lot of places are open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sometimes the casinos are closed Monday and Tuesday, but a lot of them are open. And I think we're more open with entertainment than anywhere in the world. So we're doing pretty well. But I want to thank both of you for keeping up what you're doing and keep doing what you're doing. And you're kind of giving women, you know, this beautiful feeling of being a woman. And you can actually do what you want as a woman. Thank you very much.
A woman in control with confidence in herself. Yes.
And that is so important. Absolutely so important.
Yes.
So I just want to thank both of you. You both be amazing. Buttercup, good luck with you. Dusty, thank you for all the effort and what you've done. And all what you've learned, you're passing it down to the younger generation. And then Buttercup is passing it down to another younger generation. So burlesque is never going to go away because these 2 ladies are going to keep it going, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you both very much.